Hey guys, in this video, you will be learning how to use Google's AI Studio as a complete beginner. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to use the software without any problem. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. First things first, click on the link in the description to open Google AI Studio. And after logging in with your Gmail account, this is what you'll see. On the right, we have the run settings, while on the left, we have the prompt stream, real-time settings, and apps. And right in the middle, we have the AI chat interface. You can type anything that comes to your mind. For example, let's say, "Hello there," and hit run. You'll see a response like, "Hello, how can I assist you today?" You can also rate responses as good or bad to help improve the AI. But for now, let's focus on the settings on the right side. Okay, so from here you can select the model. By default, it's Gemini. But of course you can switch to different models like Gemini 1.5 Pro, Flash and more. I'll use Gemini Flash for now. Below that, you'll see tokens. We just used 15 tokens, and we have a total of 1 million, so be mindful of usage since they'll eventually run out. The temperature setting actually controls the creativity of the model. Lower values make your responses more predictable, while the higher values make them more random, we could say. So, I'll set it to 1.4. And then there's also a structured output. If you enable this, you can format responses better. For example, if you don't want Python code, you can switch it to another format. The same applies to the visual editor as well, where you can define responses as numbers, objects, etc. This is useful for developers, but I don't need it right now, so I'll keep it off. Then we have the code execution, and this will actually allow you to run and view your code separately. Then function calling and grounding settings are also available, and these are actually for helping you fine-tune your API responses. There are also some API documentations available for examples. You can of course check these samples and get ideas. Okay, so now let's get back to the models again. If you're not sure which model to use, you can basically compare them. And to do that, there's an option at the top called Compare. Click on it, and you can test different models side by side. So let's compare Gemini 2.0 Flash with Gemini 1.5 Pro. Okay, so now let's ask it to generate a code for a calculator. Then I'm going to click Run. Different models will produce different versions. As you can see, Gemini 2 did a more detailed response, which is actually great for beginners. So it does a lot here than the Gemini 1.5 Pro. Alright, so let's close this now. And we are pretty much done for the right side. And moving on to the left side, you can actually get an API in case of using it for, websites or bots. It's actually easier than getting an API key from ChatGPT. Next, we have the Create Prompt section. There's also a video Q&A that enables AI to analyze videos and answer questions based on their content. It helps with scene understanding, object detection, and summarization. There is also a sentiment check that basically analyzes text to determine emotions like positive, negative, or neutral. And then you can also test AI for the comparisons. Then, there is real-time streaming, which lets you interact with Gemini using text, voice, video, or even screen sharing. Once you allow permissions, you can ask Gemini things like, "What's on my screen?" and it will analyze it for you. Super handy for programming. Now, let's talk about starter apps. There are various tools like a video analyzer, map explorer, and spatial understanding, which helps AI models interpret object positions, scenes, and 3D environments. It's basically used for AR, robotics, vision language tasks, and navigation. So, you can also upload images, and Gemini will analyze them. Then, there's also a model tuning option, but you'll need to grant drive access first. You can create a custom model using structured prompts or improve existing ones. It basically improves the performance of a model for a specific task. There's a library section as well, where you can access saved projects from Google Drive. Lastly, there's the prompt gallery. Here, you'll find pre-made prompts for things like math, trip ideas, game character creation, and research assistance. If you're into Dungeons & Dragons, you can generate characters for your game. There's also an API documentation section to help you learn more. You can also adjust general settings too, like changing the theme, managing account settings, and toggling autosave. But first, you'll need to connect Google Drive to store your work. Alright guys, that's it for this video. This is all about Google's AI Studio. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.